And my suggestion is a level, if there is anything that is committed at this time, and in the way of increases in salary, we need to budget for them. And if the superintendent sees that there is, under current contractual agreements, that we need a certain amount of money, we need to know what that is. So I haven't, the amount of the 100,000 seemed to be above and beyond the current contractual agreements. So if we know it's going to rain and the roof's going to leak, we should patch it now, and using the similar reference. You know, I think we know we have some increased costs if we don't have any changes in contractual obligations at this time. And we didn't budget those, so that's where I see a gap. So with that response to you, I guess the friendly amendment would be that the level service budget, well, will include, I mentioned some things that it wouldn't anticipate, but it will include a line item to update texts and materials for instruction, assessment, intervention.
Are you going to list each one of these, or?
Well, you can reference it off the note, that entire line that came off the text edition.
Okay.
And an addition to state to fund salary increases as obligated. And that completes the friendly amendment.
Okay, you actually never voted on the first one.
It's an amendment. They got to vote on the
That was
amendment
it.
first.
First, before
Yep.
they
And
vote
then
on
they
the
vote on the
original.
whole.
Do we need a second on the amendment?
And then a vote.
Is
And
there a
then that
second?
becomes the motion.
Is there a second on the amendment to the motion?
I'll second the amendment, so for discussion.
Any discussion?
So right now, what I'm looking at is NEASC, NAEYC, the language-based, the textbook materials assessment, perhaps some level of salary increases.
No, I
And
thought the amendment was just for two items, was for salary increases in books. That's what the amendment was. His original included all of that. The amendment was salary increases
And
and textbooks.
Right, we approved that amendment.
No, we just
but-
had a second, we didn't have a vote on it.
We have to vote
Right.
on the amendment.
Okay.
But we're in discussion. That's why I'm trying
Okay,
to
yeah.
make sure I
just want to make.
know.
The amendment was only for two items. The whole thing is going to encompass 6 items.
all
The amendment
6
is
of
just for the salary increases, salary increases and the textbooks.
The amendment.
The
Yes.
amendment is for those two items.
Yes.
That'll now throw those two items into the original motion for all of those other items, for the,
Not these two, though.
not for the climate and the other one, but for the other items on the list.
Right.
So we now have to vote for the salary increase and textbooks.
Right. That's why I mentioned the 4 things that I think are in the amendment. So if you vote the amendment, that would be then the motion, and then that would be the budget that I'm preparing,
Right.
those 4 items.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are voting on the amendment now, correct?
And then you have to vote again, because that's now your motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay, and the original motion, Karen, do you want to just give us the whole entire thing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna add
Please.
to all this. Okay, motion was that Dr. Colley prepared a second, rendition of the fiscal year 12 proposal budget that reflects a level service budget, will not anticipate any increases in fees, sports, activity fees, or bus fees, and will include the updated text materials, and I'll do that entire line, and additional fund for salaries as obligated. Those were the two, correct?
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment. We keep saying the word obligated. I need to stress that we are in negotiations. We don't have any obligations right now. That's all,
For the teachers.
for the teachers.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Excuse me.
All those against?
Nay.
Okay.
Motion passes 3-1.
Excuse me. You made the motion, Mike made this motion, you seconded it for the amendment. I reread the entire motion, okay, that you made. However, you seconded.
Yeah. But he's voting
But
nay.
you're, okay.
No, we seconded just for the discussion, to get into discussion.
And
It doesn't make any
I just wanna
difference on your
make sure
vote.
I have that correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
That was for discussion.
Okay.
Okay, all right, well, there you go. Sure, that won't be the end of that.
But at
Thanks.
least now I can have something that I can bring back to you and send to the town and let them chew on it.
Okay, all right, thank you, everybody. That's, you know, this is probably the toughest part of the job of being on the school committee and being an administrator is dealing with the money. So thank you all for your patience on that. All right, item F, policy update. Number 1, approval of policy JJJ, extracurricular activity eligibility. I've seen that before. Number 2, approval, I guess we'll take those one at a time, yes?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve policy JJJ as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, if we can just have one quick thing on that. And I just wanted out in public, because there may be backlash on it, that one of the members of the school committee does coach the team that does have...
No, I don't.
Oh, you're not coach? Okay, I thought you were still coaching. I just wanted to disclose that
I
if it's
do
not
not
the issue, then
coach.
it's not, then it's not, it's a
Nope.
non-issue then.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Number 2, approval. Can I have a motion to approve the remainder of Section B of the policy manual, except for policy BK?
There's one
This one.
issue, just for clarification, on the, I should have my glasses on me, BBBE. Yeah, thank you.
Hold on.
Oh, beautiful. Do we need to add in there any part of the, when we had the last, when we appointed Mrs. Duhart, the way that it went that night of bringing the 2 people forward and then having a vote or a motion? Or is this going to, or we just revisit that when we have someone resign, or no death, I hope, but anything like that, that there's a vacancy?
Right.
The AMSC process that is outlined and also in the law, basically is what you have outlined here. That's policy versus procedure.
Procedure, okay.
Procedure, you can change any time. You know, I think what we did is we alerted the people who were interested